Hey guys, Spartan here for the daily recap for April 11th, 2022. Let's take a look at what we got going on today, what we did. Basically, market pulled back the entire day. We were leaning on the bearish side because we were under the 50 EMA today. That held true. It was very controlled selling though the entire day. Kind of a flop nut type of day where you kind of get like action in the market that you don't typically get. For instance, the market sold off today and you had drug names selling off, energy selling off. Typically, you'd see those names push to the upside on these types of days, and you got bounces in some high PE tech names. So what we did today is we did grab some SPY puts out the gate. They didn't work till the end of the day. The 440s got in the money, and they actually worked out okay for us. So I was happy with that. Probably the biggest trade of the day. Actually, let's just go through the equity. Let's do it how we usually do it. So let's rip through the names that we were in. A lot of equity trading today. Option side was a little bit more difficult because obviously there's not a lot of range, not a lot of velocity. But we did some Tesla long out the gate, 982s. We played that to the 1005, 1004 area. We also had options on that as well. We rolled into the 1050s pretty quickly out the gate. So that was a nice trade there, both on the equity and the option side. We did a little bit of NVIDIA short at 220.18 out the gate. We ended up taking that one off for a small gain, pretty much flat. And then obviously, kind of traded around to the downside. We also had 205 puts, which we ended up getting out for like a small gain. They really didn't do much. We had the exact same thing on AMD. Took some puts on that. Didn't really move much. We were actually in the 95s, and they pretty much stayed pretty much where we bought them from. Again, VIX wasn't really moving. Premiums were not juicing up on the put side. Velocity was slow. BA, we're in this long 174.92. Played that to the 179 level. That was a nice little trade there on the upside. We had some UPST long 89.04. We got 2 points on that, and then it basically stayed range bound the entire day. We were in square long at 121.10. We traded that into the end of the day, the 125s there. We sold it. Pretty decent trade. Not a ton of range again, but it worked out. We were in GNCA long. We scalped this from the 79-cent level into the 90s. And we got stopped out the rest at our entry. That was a nice trade. Snow, we were in this long at 209.87. We sold that into last day's high pretty much. We tried a little bit of NVAX long this morning as well at 60.03. Got a slight pop on that. Ended up selling some into that movement, and then it was pretty much over pretty quickly after that. Coop long 104.48. Traded that to the 108s. Decent little trade there. We were in Veru long from 740s, played that into the 1450 level. Ended up selling my last 1/8 at the end of the day. We actually had 15 calls on, and Beth and a couple of the other mods were on the 750s really early. And big shout out to Beth on the Veru, guys. 1,500% trade. Pretty nuts for a Monday. So big props on that. Nice. What else did we do? We did some Zoom. Oh, sorry. No, we'll go with the options in a second. We're in some LMT long on a scalp on the equity side. We traded this one from, 471.13 to the 474s. Solid scalp there. And then what else did we do? We had a little bit of SST long. I also tweeted this one out for you guys. And if you guys aren't in the free Discord, come in. I give free trades that I would typically give on Twitter. I give a little bit more in the Discord, and I give more guidance, of course. SST, we're in this long 27.16. It's faster. You get the ideas right away in Discord rather than a little delay on Twitter. But anyways, 27.16, we're in the SST long. Traded that into the 29s. That's a nice trade. We're in shop long at 616.90. We traded that into the 30 level, 630 level. We're looking for 641. Didn't quite get there. We ended up selling a bunch of it on the double top and then exiting the rest when we did break that EMA support. But all in all, on the equity side, really nice. Oh, lastly, guys, CYTO. It pulled back to the 50 EMA. We grabbed it long, traded it back up to 180. Really nice bounce trade for us. I'm happy with that. It was about like 50-cent trade to the upside. But for a dollar stock, I mean, that's pretty damn good from a percentage standpoint. We tried some GME long at the end of the day. This one we ended up just getting out of. 147.47. Got a nice little pop, 148. I didn't sell any. I just held it, looking for more, and then obviously kind of just consolidated. It wasn't enough time in the day. On the option side, like I said, that Veru was really good for us. A couple 100%ers on that. Beth got that 1,500%. We had some ABBV puts right out the gate. So the one thing I noticed was the drug names were weak right out the gate when the market was selling off. So I went, okay, probably going to get these names pulling back in. Grab the 170s on ABBV. We traded that to the downside for over I think it was over a couple 100% on this. Yeah, 200% trade on that. And then we actually ended up grabbing the 175 calls on the extension, and we traded that to the upside. So it's a nice little trade down and up on that. Tesla roll, we talked about that. SPY puts, we talked about that. The review 15 calls, we talked about that. We tried a little bit of neg long, the 10s. I figured, you're getting all these small cap names running. Maybe you'll get something on this. End up getting a little pop on that. That one ended up not working though. We did some Roblox 45 calls. 102. We ended up getting about 40% and change on that. We tried some MU 75 calls long. They ended up going about 15%. Nothing much there. It's kind of a nothing trade on the option side. We did a little bit of Zoom 115 calls looking for that breakout. And those, again, just didn't end up doing anything. It kind of just stayed range bound. All in all, though, on the option side, not bad. We didn't take a ton of trades today on the option side. The stuff that we did take that worked great. The stuff that didn't work kind of just fizzled out because the market was so range bound. The equity side was really good. Happy with that. And yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow, guys. I think you're going to get a little bit more range. Market is extended to the downside and will open up extended tomorrow. The QQQs are also extended to the downside. I'm going to be watching what happens with these drug names, what happens with the defensive names. And defensive names, what I mean by that is the defensive names like Walmart, Costco, the names that do well in typically any economy. And I'll also be like, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, things like that as well. And I'll also be watching high PE tech. There was strength in them today. We'll see if that continues tomorrow. Watch solar as well. There was some great movement in those. And lastly, I think small caps. A lot of the biotechs and therapeutic names that were running today were the smaller ones. So something to keep an eye on there. Anyways, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, go to SpartanTrading.com. If you guys aren't already in the Discord, it's free to pop into our Discord. Of course, you don't get all the alerts and things like that for our members, but you do get some decent tidbits here and there, as well as some free education. So I think it's certainly worth it as well. Great sense of community in the room. Always has been and always will be. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. You can find that Discord link in the bio. Otherwise, you can visit SpartanTrading.com if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out. Have a good one. Thanks, guys.